Your dreams have a purpose. You have to believe that this moment is preparing you for something amazing.
It's really a matter of protecting your dreams, protecting your imagination.
Every failed experiment is one step closer to success.
When you change what someone believes is possible, you change what becomes possible.
Your dreams have a purpose. I have always dreamt of being a New York Times bestselling author. Never have been. That dream has a purpose, and the purpose of that dream is to pull me through my bullshit and my fears and my anxiety and my sense of unworthiness to make me work for something. But those dreams are not necessarily to be fulfilled. They are a vehicle that gets you moving. There is something so much better in store for you than that dream. There's something bigger. Had I achieved my dream of being a New York Times bestselling author, if I had had a successful traditional book launch, I never would be where I am right now. You have to believe that this moment is preparing you for something amazing that hasn't happened yet. Keep going. And so I repeated that over and over and over and over and over again as I wanted to throw in the towel, as I would start to bash myself, as I would start to feel sorry for myself and be like, nope, there's just no way I'm going to believe that something amazing isn't going to happen. I've worked too hard. Something amazing that hasn't happened is coming. And when you get yourself into that mindset, it creates a sense of resilience and momentum and resolve that you need in order to keep going when the shit hits the fan or when you feel disappointed or when life is beating you down. And that was the other gift of that moment, is developing a little tool to flip my mindset when I wanted to start to feel sorry for myself. Particularly if you're somebody that feels stuck, or you're easily tripped up or brought down by jealousy or guilt or procrastination or beating yourself up or comparison. And, honestly, if you're breathing, we all know we're supposed to have self-esteem and self-worth and self-validation and self-confidence. How do you build it? And, the other thing is that we also are looking outside ourselves for confirmation, validation, affirmation of those things. And so how do you relocate the source of your self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, self-validation within yourself so that you're in control of it?
Dreams they should be pure. I think a lot of times when we're born into this world, we actually wind up going backwards. And it seems like the more we mature, the more responsible our dreams become. And the more governors we put on ourselves and our ability to dream and to reimagine. And it's always a fight for us parents and for you guys to make sure that your dreams always stay pure. And so it's not a matter of pushing beyond the limitations or expectations. It's really a matter of protecting your dreams, protecting your imagination. That's really the key. And when you do that, then the world just seems limitless. You have to sit and ask yourself what is truly going to get you up in the morning, what's going to keep you up at night. And when you find what that answer is, you stay true to that. I've built a brand for the last 20-some years, personal brand, which is great. But that is not where our focus is going to be for the next 50 years. Right? It's what we are doing now. Are we taking a big risk? Yeah. But I think that if we focus on one thing and do that one thing exceptionally well, we won't fail at that one thing. So sometimes you got to put the other stuff to bed and focus on what you believe is the core of the company, and that always starts from what you love to do the most. If I could work that hard every day, being blessed with the physical tools that I have, what would my career be? And I made a promise to myself from that day that I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. But that was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, and do that for 20 years, what do you have?
The key of taking that first step, the really daunting one, because the first one's always the hardest, as you know. It's not about trying to logically argue with those voices in our head. You will never win against the voices in your head if you try to argue with them. What I've learned is that if you, instead of focusing on the voices and the fears, you focus on the desires. And I think no matter what your dream is, if you're able to find a larger purpose, a larger impact that lives beyond you, all of a sudden all of your bullshit that's holding you down becomes a lot less relevant. It's not just wondering, how do I turn up the volume in theory? I would literally write down, so for this book, I would write down on a sheet of paper, my dream is to inspire a generation to believe in what's possible. The act of writing it down and physically seeing it every single day made it tangible, and it made it feel like less of a crazy idea and more of a real possibility. I want to inspire people to believe in what's possible. And what I've learned is that when you change what someone believes is possible, you change what becomes possible. And the difference between fearlessness and courage is that fearlessness is jumping off of the cliff without thinking. Courage is acknowledging your fear, analyzing the consequences, and deciding you still care so much about it, you're going to take one step forward anyway.
But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. This is what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. I'm telling you, embrace it, because it's inevitable. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. To not only take risks, but to be open to life, to accept new views, and to be open to new opinions. Because the chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you.